the truth profoundly. These are Germans here. Follow me to the message clear. Go Paul, Das, and Paul. They say Duane the writer leads the way. Time to madness, it's bright. Gotta wake up, see the light.
In this experience, I woke up in my room as usual. I don't know why, but I decided to walk out of my house. Started walking down the street, and it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I didn't think about it, and I just kept following it. After a while of walking, it led me to Burger King. I went inside the Burger King, but I didn't order anything. Just kind of sat down at one of the tables for a while instead. I was kind of expecting like a real guide or something to show up at some point, but no one did. Actually, there were a few normal customers, but I don't think they were real guides, because they kept giving me weird looks. After a while of nothing happening, I just decided to walk back home. When I got home, I suddenly started feeling really tired, so I went back to bed. And then I woke up again. I don't know why, but I decided to just like walk out of my house. Again. I started walking down the street, and it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere, but I didn't think about it, and I just kept following it. After a while of walking, it led me to McDonald's. I went inside the McDonald's, but I didn't order anything. I sat down at one of the tables for a while instead, and I was expecting a real guide to show up, but no one did. Seemed like there were some normal customers though, again. But I don't think they were real guides. They just kept giving me weird looks. And after a while, I just decided to walk back home. When I got home, I suddenly felt really tired again, so I went back to bed. And then I woke up again. But I still wasn't like awake. I was still in the experience. I don't know why, but I decided to walk out of my house. Started walking down the street, and it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I didn't really think about it. Just kept following it. After a while, it led me to Carl's Jr. I went inside the Carl's Jr., but again, I didn't order anything. Sat down at one of the tables for a while, and I was looking at the door expecting a real guide or something to come in at one point, but no one did. There were some normal customers, but I don't think they were real guides, so they kept giving me weird looks. After
Wait,
a while,
do you mind if I ask a question, Eric?
Yeah, what's up?
Why are you at a McDonald's? I thought you were a Burger King kind of guy.
Well, my awareness took me to Burger King the first time. I don't know, bro. I was just following my awareness.
Dude!
Maybe it just didn't want to go again. I don't know. I didn't get anything, so it didn't matter.
Okay. That's all.
Hold on, Ramus. Yeah, just be patient. Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay. After a while, nothing happening, I just decided to walk back home. When I got home, I suddenly felt really tired, so I went back to bed. Then I woke up again, but it was still in the experience. I don't know why, but after I woke up again, I decided to walk out of my house. Started walking down the street, and it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I didn't think about it. I just kept following. After a while of walking, it led me to Arby's. I went inside the Arby's, but I didn't order anything. Just kind of sat down at one of the tables instead. I was expecting a real guide or something to show up, but no one did. There were a few normal customers, but I don't think they were real guides. After a while, nothing happening, I just decided to walk back home. When I got home, I suddenly felt really tired, so I went back to bed. Then, I woke up yet again, still in the same experience. And once again, I felt compelled to walk out of my house, start walking down the street. And it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I just kept following it. After a while, it It led me to Man versus Fries. I don't know if you've ever been to Man versus Fries. It's pretty garbo. I was kind of surprised. I went inside the Man versus Fries, but didn't really feel like ordering anything. Just kind of sat down at one of the tables for a while instead. And no real guide showed up. There were some normal customers, but they didn't seem like real guys. They kept giving me weird looks. After a while, nothing happened. I just decided to walk back home. When I got home, I felt really tired, so I went back to bed. And then once again, I woke up. Once again, felt compelled to walk out of my house. Started walking down the street. And it felt like my awareness was guiding me. So I didn't think about it. I just kept following it. After a while of walking, it led me to this place called the Chum Bucket. I went inside the Chum Bucket, but I didn't order anything. Not really into chum myself. So I just kind of sat down at one of the tables for a while instead. I was kind of expecting a real guy to show up at some point, but no one did. There actually weren't like any customers in this one. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. After a while, nothing happening, I walked back home. When I got home, I felt really tired, so I went back to bed. And I woke up again. Felt compelled to walk out of my house again. So I started walking down the street, and I felt my awareness kind of guiding me somewhere. So I didn't think about it. I just said, okay. And I just kept following wherever it was taking me. And after a while, it led me to Mr. Beast Burger. I went inside the Mr. Beast Burger, but I didn't order anything. It was kind of expensive. I just kind of sat down at one of the tables for a while instead. And I was hoping a real guide or something would show up at some point, but no one did. There were some normal customers, though. I saw them coming in and out of the doors, but I don't think they were real guides because they kept giving me weird looks. After a while, nothing happening, I just decided to walk back home. But before I got home, I started feeling really tired, so I decided that once I got in, I would go back to bed. And I did. And after a while of sleeping, I woke up again. Still in the experience, though. So, I decided to go for a walk. I don't know why. Just kind of felt compelled to. And it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I didn't think about it, and I just kept following it. And after a while of walking, it led me to Burger King. I went inside the Burger King, but I didn't order anything. Just kind of sat down at one of the tables instead. And I was hoping for a real guide or something, but no one showed up. This time the restaurant was pretty empty. Just a few customers, but they didn't seem like real guides. They were just eating at their tables. After a while, I just decided to walk back home. When I got inside, I sat down in my chair, hoping to play some Fortnite, but then I felt really tired, and I didn't want to hurt my KD, so I went back to bed. And then I woke up again. I don't know why, but felt like walking out of my house. Started walking down the street. Felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere, so I didn't think about it. I just kept following it. After a while of walking, it led me to McDonald's. I went inside the McDonald's, but didn't feel like buying anything. Wasn't really hungry. Just kind of sat down at one of the tables for a bit. And once again, there were no real guides or anything. There were some normal customers, pretty typical McDonald's, but they didn't seem like real guides. Kept giving me weird looks and ordering food. I feel like Rebazar wouldn't, or well, any of the real guys, I guess Germo too, they wouldn't order any McDonald's. So after a while of nothing happening, I walked back home. When I got home, sat down in my bed for a bit. I felt really tired, so I went to bed, fell asleep, and then I woke up again. But as soon as I got out of bed, I just felt compelled to start walking. So I followed my awareness. Didn't think about it, just kept following it. And after a while, it led me to Carl's Jr. So I went inside. I went inside to Carl's Jr. But I didn't order anything. Just kind of sat down at one of the tables for a while instead. Kind of expecting like a real guide or something to show up, but no one did. I saw one that might have looked like a real guide, but it didn't. Kind of looked a little bit like Germa, but it wasn't Jim. They kept giving me weird looks, the customers. I was gonna like go up to one and tell him to back off, but I didn't. Didn't feel like it. So after a while, I just decided to walk back home. When I got home, sat down again, hoping to play some Fortnite, but felt really tired, so I went back to bed. And then I woke up again. And I felt that compulsion to walk out of my house, just start walking down the street. And I kept walking. Felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I just kept following it. After a bit, it led me to Arby's. I went inside the Arby's, but I didn't order anything. Just kind of sat down on one of the tables for a while instead. And no one showed up. I guess because it was an Arby's. At this point, I did start to feel a little hungry. So I went up to the counter and I wanted to order some mac and cheese. They have white mac and cheese there at Arby's. But they said they were out. So I didn't order anything. I walked back home. When I got home, I ate some bread. Kind of wanted to have a little bit of chair leg, since that's good for fiber. But I didn't feel like putting in the work this time. So I feel really tired all of a sudden. Usually I have the energy, but I didn't this time. So I went back to bed. And then I woke up again. And I felt compelled to walk. Just really getting my exercise, you know what I mean? So I started walking down the street, sang the new you a little bit, and I felt like my awareness was leading me somewhere. So I didn't think about it, just went for it. After a while of walking, it led me back to Man vs. Fries. So I went inside the Man vs. Fries, and I asked if they had any fries, and they said they were out. I was like, what the fuck, dude? You're like Man vs. Fries. That's your whole thing. They said they were out of fries. So I asked if they had any man. They told me to leave. So I walked back home. No real guide stopped me on my way. But I felt really tired when I got back home. So I went back to bed. And after who knows how long of a sleep, I woke up again. But I could tell I was still in the experience. So I decided to go for a walk. Figure out what was really going on. Started walking down the street. And it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I didn't think about it. And just kept going. After a while of walking, my awareness led me to Mr. Beast Burger. So I went inside the Mr. Beast Burger. I tried to order a burger, but they said they were out of burgers. I was like, bro, Man vs. Fries is out of fries. Arby's is out of mac and cheese. You're out of burgers. What is going on? And the person behind the counter just kind of shook their head at me. So I ordered a drink, a small water. Sat down at one of the tables and I drank the water. And someone actually approached me. I was like, are you a real guide? And they didn't know what I was talking about. Actually, they were just there to ask for my phone because they needed to make a phone call. So I gave them my phone, they made their phone call, and I got my phone back. And I decided to walk home. Once I got home, I felt really tired from that social interaction. because those really suck ass. So I went back to bed. And then I woke up again. As soon as I got out of bed, I just felt compelled to go for a walk. Just felt like I really needed to get out of the house. So I started down the street, and I felt my awareness guiding me somewhere. So I followed it. And after a while of walking, I arrived at Burger King. I went inside the Burger King, but I didn't order anything. I know better. Sat down at one of the tables for a bit instead. I was hoping like a real guide would come in, you know, Germa, Rebazar, that fubby guy, literally anyone. But no one did. Actually, there were a few normal customers though. But they just kind of gave me weird looks, so they probably weren't real guides. After a while, nothing happening, I just decided to walk back home. When I got home, I made some food, a little bit of bread, and I felt really tired after eating the bread. So I went to sleep on the couch this time. And then I woke up in the morning, but I was still in the experience. It was like the morning in the experience. Real weird. And I noticed it was morning. I'm never like awake in the morning, so I wanted to join the Skype call. And I checked on Skype, but Skype didn't load. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I didn't know what to do. So I decided instead to walk out of my house, take a walk down the street. And it felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. So I just went and followed it. And after some walking, it guided me to McDonald's. I went inside the McDonald's. And I realized that this is the perfect opportunity to order some hash browns, because I never get a chance, you know what I mean? So I was like, I had to get some McDonald's hash browns. So I tried to order some hash browns, and they said they were all out. I was real pissed, so I went and sat down and didn't order anything just to spite the employees. Kind of expecting them to not get paid for it. And, you know, I wanted to wait and see if a real guide or someone would show up, but no real guide showed up. There were a bunch of normal customers, though. Just eating, talking, doing normal customer things, I guess. Some of them gave me weird looks, but not that many. After a while, nothing happening, I walked back home. When I finally got home, I felt exhausted. So I went back to bed, decided to take a nap. And I woke up again. And I guess it was the next day. So I got out of bed. I felt compelled to just go for a walk and get some exercise. You know, I was feeling pretty aware. I wanted to smell the air and look at trees and look at the sun. Briefly, though. I didn't want to stare at the sun. And when I looked at the sun, it felt like my awareness wanted to take me somewhere. So I followed it. Kept following it for a while. And after a while, it led me to Carl's Jr. Went inside the Carl's Jr., but I didn't order anything. Didn't really feel hungry this time. And also, Carl's Jr. kinda sucks. Don't at me. Sat down at one of the tables for a while, hoping that a real guide would come in. Either through the door or through the roof, you know what I mean? But none did. There were some customers that went in and out, but that was it. So after a while, I started feeling tired, so I walked back home. When I got home, I went and got in bed, because it was really cold out, you know what I mean? It's been cold lately, because it's winter time, you know what I mean? So I went back to bed. And I woke up the next morning. When I woke up, I went to the bathroom, felt pretty fucking good. And then I felt like my awareness was guiding me somewhere. I didn't know where. So I was like, all right, I'm going. And I left. I left the house. I followed my awareness. After a while of walking, it led me to Arby's. So I went inside the Arby's, but I didn't order anything. Just kind of sat down on one of the tables for a while instead. And I was kind of expecting like a real guide or something to show up, but no one did. It was Arby's, so there were no other customers there. I thought maybe one of the employees might have been a real guide. I was really hopeful, but no, none of them went up to me or anything. So after a while, nothing happening, I just had to walk back home. When I got home, suddenly felt really tired, so I went back to bed. And then I woke up again. But this time I didn't feel any desire to like leave the house. And I realized that I wasn't in the experience anymore. I was actually awake. And that was the experience.
Okay, that was a long movie. Okay, you always start simple. Okay? Always start simple if you're going to look at these things. Look for the simplest things first. And so again, look at the experience. What are you doing? You're going over and over the same thing, aren't you? Yes. And look at where you're going. You're going to these fast food places, okay? And so this is repetitious, isn't it? Like your lifetimes. You've done this stuff over and over and over again. The idea is that, yes, you're looking for the guidance, okay? But really, you already have the guidance, all right? Because you are actually guiding yourself there to show yourself that these are old routines, and at any moment, okay, see again, every one of these places has a menu, doesn't it? And it's like they're out of this, they're out of that, or whatever. Well, that's part of your wake up. They're showing you that, that's part of waking you up. In other words, making a different choice. You see, so again, these places are like automatic to you. It's showing you this automatic routine. And at any point, you can decide differently. And you look at each experience, it's basically the same. 9, 10, 12 times you did it, whatever. It's basically the same. Doesn't matter where you go. It's the same idea. You're going to a fast food place. You're going to order what they got on the menu. All of a sudden, they're telling you, well, we're out of that. We don't have that. See, right there, that's a hint to a wake up. It's like, huh? Oh, you're supposed to have that. See, that's your thinking. You're thinking that, hey, this place is supposed to have French fries and hamburgers or whatever, okay, macaroni and cheese. And that's your routine thinking. You see? Now, you can decide differently. You can decide like, hey, you know what? I'm going to grow my own food. The heck with this stuff. I'm going to grow my own food. That's just an idea. See, it's showing you the routine that you've been going through and that you are the decider. So these routines are automatic to you. They're robotic. This is how the system has trained us to be literal and one-dimensional. Just follow the system and what others create for you and just follow the system. Well, now it's up to you to decide. Now, the guidance comes in just like when you first met the new you. The guidance comes in because you chose to use the new you. Now, people cannot be guided if they don't want to be guided. In other words, if they don't want to test the new you and be guided, well, they can't be guided. You see? So again, the routine is also showing you that as you keep doing the same routines, how can you be guided unless you make a new choice? You see, Eric? So within all of that, you're repetitively doing it. No, you can go, oh, well, my awareness is showing me where to go. That's fine. You decided that. Remember, that was your decision. I'll just go with my awareness. Or you personally decide to recognize a new choice. Do you see the difference? You could have done that. That's what it's showing you.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. See, at any point, because you were still in the experience, you kept going back to sleep, waking up, going back to sleep. In other words, it's like, hello, anyone home? The thing being is that, yes, you're walking down the street. Oh, I'm just going to see where I'm going to go. Well, basically, you're going to go to where you've known. And just like I said, when you're talking to someone or we're on here and you're asking a question, what's the first thing you do? You go to your mind. You ask your mind, what does that mean, Duane? Why did you tell me that? Why did you say that? Oh, that's your fault, Duane. You told me to do that. You see, what do? You go to your mind instead of seeing something else. And this takes a while. This takes a training, just like going into the military. It takes a while. That's why they put people in boot camp for like 13, 14 weeks or months or even longer, because again, it takes a lot of training to get out of the old way to where you lived with your parents and your mother told you what to do and whatever, to where you start to make the decisions on your own. You see? So there are your hints right there, Eric. It's not about, you already have the guidance that's already shown to you. All life is. Yes, you're going to get the short course here. And it's not about 50 years, okay? It's not about anything. All I'm saying is that you're going to have to be real, and that is, it ain't going to just instantly happen. You're not going to just get an answer like, what is the answer to life? Well, there's no such thing. You see?
Yeah.
Who can say?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like the air you breathe. How much more air can I breathe? Well, there's no answer to that. It's going to be whatever it's going to be. And so
Life makes sense.
Yes, again, it does make sense, and that is you.
All life is awareness.
Now you know. Yeah.
All life
okay.
is awareness.
Yes, but you don't want those to become just slogans. You want to see the real meaning and reference to that, and that is now you know. Look at over your whole life. This is where I recommend people to write their own story, because you're going to see a lot about your personal self, and you're going to see that you made every decision. It wasn't some authority. You're not waiting. See, you're waiting for the guidance for someone to decide, like the experience with Rebazar. Rebazar gives you the experience. He's showing you. And whatever it is, okay, whatever the experience is, you decide what it is to you. That's you, okay? So there's no pat answer. I just give you something as a reference, okay? But you're the decider. It's your life. And we all go through this. Me too. And I get new experiences, and I got to figure them out too. Whether it be the physical, the real side, or whatever, I have to decide how I'm going to figure that or see it. And I like to see things and then bring it into the personal self, not look to the personal self for answer. I don't look to the personal self for anything because it don't know nothing. You have information, but that information is all programming, just like your computer. When you look to your mind and you ask the question, you're looking to your computer. Learn to see with your awareness, and the answer is already available, and then you provide it to your mind. You see? But we've been taught to get it from books and people that give us lectures and teachers and government people, whatever, that, oh, they have information.
They don't know anything.
They don't. No. You know, I'm going through funding and stuff, which I have for years, and this one gal, Kara, that I'm working with, and I tell her, I said, you know, we're dealing with the government, we're dealing with these people because of my assets. But guess what, Kara? These people don't know anything. Oh, yeah.
Wait, what kind of funding do you mean? Just so I understand.
They have a job. Never mind that. We'll skip over that. Okay, that'll come later. Just give it time.
Okay.
See,
No
the
problem.
idea.
See, jobs are stupid. I don't want to work at Taco Bell.
robotized. Okay, hold on. Okay. They're robotized to get a job. You know, just like you, when you were raised, we were all raised the same way. Me too, Eric. It's like go to school, get your diploma, go get a job. You've been robotized to go through that system. It's not good or bad. This is just how life is. But now you know you are the decider, and you can do whatever you want. If you want to go live in the jungle and the trees, you can do that. You don't need a job. But I'm not saying don't get a job or whatever. But wherever you're at, you're going to have to deal with it. And however, so I'm in society because I want to help others. I'm here to help the world because I see that helping others become more aware, I become more aware to help others become more aware. And that's my chosen position. That's my intent.
So kind of you, bro.
Yeah, and it's not everybody because most people, they don't care. They don't even know why they're on planet Earth. Look at all those people out there. Look at the governments. Look at all these people. They don't know why they're here. They don't know where they came from, etc. But they have a job. You see? So again, this is how the society is. So your experience is showing you the routines that at any point you can decide differently, Eric. Or you just keep doing that. You keep having the same dream. Now, real fast, my former wife, she had reoccurring dreams about Nazis and whatever. I'll just use this one experience. And then when she came into Paul's teachings, you know, she realized that, oh, this is a past life. And as she confronted it, it went away because she decided differently. But it was hanging on there because it was a past life. And she was unconsciously going through those routines on the real side until she realized what it was. And then poof, it vanished. You see, so again, you're going through your basic routines because this is easy for you. When you're thinking, when you're hungry, what do you think of? Burger King, McDonald's, whatever you think of. That's
Man,
what
I
you
don't
think.
want to do the Burger King thing anymore.
Yeah, that's because
I understand now. It's not good for me.
Yeah, little by little, you will gradually, and I went through the same thing, little by little, you're going to learn about diet, just like your car. You got to change the oil. You got to put good gas in it. You can't just put water and you know, shaving cream in it. So you, again, it's showing you that you are the decider, Eric. So now all of a sudden you have this opportunity to make new choices, to create new adventures for yourself. And what I recommend always is something that refers to what all life is, what is all natural. That's my focus. That's why I write these images and send them to you if you'd read them, because again, the business world is destroying the environment here. It is
I
polluting.
actually have been reading them.
Yeah.
After I got out of jail, I was just
I really like the one with
I
the
want to become
bees.
more aware.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one you made with the bees?
And so again, you know, as you learn to reference, what makes sense with all life, you're making better choices and your life will come together better too as you do what you do to survive, you see? So you're learning to make better choices and what makes sense. I just wrote a thing on the Amazon people. I sent it to you. The thing being is that, you know, look at the Amazon people. They don't care about the business world. They focus on the all natural environment because it supports them. The business world does not support us, but we have to deal with it. Me too. I was a contractor. I did things, Secret Service, etc. I'm dealing with Skype and all these things. Sure, I'm dealing with it because this is what it is. I'm not going to be here to eliminate it or whatever. I'm just dealing with it. But in the meantime, I'm utilizing all of it to refer to people to how to become more aware. I'm using the system instead of the system using me. You see? Yeah. That's why we're talking on Skype.
We don't want to be used by the system. Those fuckers can stay away.
Well, it's not about that. So what you do is you look to use the system that they built because we wouldn't be talking if they hadn't built Skype. So now we can utilize it for something that makes sense. Yeah, you see, there's the difference. No, that's a lot. And I'm amazed you remembered all that.
Yeah,
But
man.
it's all very simple. It's not complex. It's just you just kept doing the same thing over and over again. And look at your life and look at the routines that you've set up for yourself. And now you've come into the position that you know you are the decider of your life, Eric. And you decide, do you want to go through these routines until you're dead here again? Or do you want to wake up and see what else there is? You see, you're the decider. And most people, they're just going to go through their routines. They're going to have a good job. They're going to make money. Oh, they're going to have a house and a car. They're going to be dead. They're going to come back. They're going to start over unaware. You've done it many times. Now you have the real guidance. You know the real guides. You recognize them. So again, they're with you. You decide your choices. And from there, they will help you along. Once you decide, because see, you didn't decide really anything in the restaurant. You just decided to order and you're sitting there waiting. Well, this is what a lot of people do. This is why they join churches and beliefs and all that. They wait to be told. No, you don't wait to be told. You decide something, you see? And once you decide it, then the guidance comes in. Yeah, that's the adventure. So would you decide?
50 years, man.
Yeah.
I decide I want to become more aware. I don't want to be stuck here in Capline and shit.
Oh.
New to that, Eric. You.
Hey, bro, what the fuck? You were singing the new with me. New you, new you, new you, new you, new you.
I saw you do it again.
You.
What? No. What do you mean?
You crew, we gather round real guides, bring the truth profound. We bees are Germans here, for me to the message clear. Go Paul, dance and Paul, they say Duane the writer leads the way. Time to madness, it's blight, gotta wake up, see the light. Don't think, just feel the vibe. The sun's are gonna cause it dry. Break the chains, the mental hold. Truth unfold, the storms are guide. A cosmic drive. Break the chains, the mental hold. The truth unfold, the story told. We strong, now unite front. Against the darkness, we will hunt. Time to break the simulation spell with new you power. We are skibidi new you. Breaking free from the matrix. Dark forces lurking, reptilian scheme. That lies that control a twisted dream. You together, we rise above. Shattering the lies, spreading risky. I knew you staring at the thing to be done. Staring at the sun, the only thing to be done.